Chris Kelly with you again here today at EFT Tapping Solutions. Today is video part 3 in regards to work stress and using EFT tapping to eliminate it. So let's do a quick recap of the first two videos. What I would highly recommend is you go back and watch these, but I'm going to give you a quick recap here. And the first one is you need to change your attitude, okay? You need to be positive. And then the very second one is you need to accept the situation you're in right at this time, okay? When you accept the situation, it usually makes it better, okay? Then you need to be happy about it, and then you need to be enthusiastic about it. So that's what EFT tapping is for, is to change your attitude towards your workplace, okay? So I have some notes here today. I'm going to not be reading off of them, but I'm going to use them as highlights. I'm a little rushed for time. I've got a full afternoon with clients with EFT tapping, but I want to get this video out because I know it's really, really important. So the first thing you need to do is understand that this busy attitude, this rushed attitude that we have, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, regardless of the issues, this is all in your mind, okay? You need to sit down, take a deep breath, do some tapping on whatever's causing you to rush, and just go ahead and relax. Everybody has different stressors, and everybody relaxes in their own way. Like myself this morning, it would sound very relaxing, possibly to you, to sit outside with my girlfriend and drink coffee for just 10 minutes and relax. Well, I had some issues come up with the sprinkler system. It wasn't working properly. I couldn't sit down with her, and I got a little rushed. I got a little stressed out on this. So, of course, after she left, I had to do some tapping because she had things to do, and I love her dearly. But to me, I wanted to get to my work. Some of us really love our work. We don't hate the work. And to me, working on my web pages and creating videos like this is stress relieving. It doesn't cause stress, although creating these videos does make me a little nervous. So let's go ahead and begin with this. Yesterday in the video, I kind of went a little excited and went a little crazy on a certain phrase that I picked up in a book entitled Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, It's All Small Stuff. Well, that's the first book, but actually it's Don't Sweat the Small Stuff at Work. And if you're having stress at work, do your EFT tapping, but go buy this book. I can't remember the author's name, but just look it up. Don't Sweat the Small Stuff at Work. You'll find it. It's very small. It's got, probably 30 chapters, very short, easy reading, but it's extremely powerful, and it'll get you through these stressful work situations, along with, of course, EFT tapping. So it's got a phrase that I know there is a solution here, and I know this will be resolved. I have this memorized, but when I get in front of the camera, I get a little nervous. So that's what it is. I know there's a solution here, and I know this will be resolved. So what I want you to do is, if you're having trouble at work with the workload, with the job you actually have, perhaps with your coworkers, perhaps with the company itself, or perhaps with your boss, which is a huge one, say that phrase. I know there's a solution here, and I know I will fix it. That's a simplified version. I know there's a solution here, and I know this will be resolved. That's so powerful. Just say that. When you're in the middle of a stressful situation, go ahead and do your EFT tapping. I have something on my lip here. Sorry about that. But go ahead and say that. I know there's a solution here, and I know this will be resolved. So I think that's hugely important. So go ahead and do that. So let's move on to a couple other topics. Well, let me refresh real quick. You got to do the tapping, okay? This isn't a mental exercise. I think I say this in every video I create, and people seem to think it's theoretical, and if I just think about this stuff up in my head, that all my issues at work and personal problems, they're just going to magically go away. Well, the tapping assists them a great deal when you go through the tapping of, my boss is just so demanding. He doesn't even ask. He just tells me what to do. But I completely love and accept myself. Okay, so as opposed to saying I completely love and accept myself, say my boss is so demanding, I know there's a solution here, and I know it'll be resolved, okay? As opposed to I accept and completely love myself. So I know there's a solution here, and I know it will be completely resolved, even though I've got this boss who is extremely demanding, okay? So that's just one example to go ahead and do that. So let me check my notes here. We went through this. Another topic here that I got from philosopher Alan Watts, and there's tons of videos and writings that he's put out. And one of them is the separation between, or in our mind, our perception of work and happiness. A lot of times people have this huge division between work and happiness. And this goes back to our belief system, okay? You might have certain situations at work that make you unhappy, But generally, thinking of work shouldn't be bad. And let's say you like amateur photography, or you like playing with your animals, or you'd rather spend time with your children. That's always happy, and that's good stuff. Well, why can't work be good stuff? So that's a limiting belief that you have, that you probably acquired somewhere in your childhood from your parents or whoever raised you, that, oh, I have to go to the rat race, I have to go to work and stuff like that. So think about that. Look at the things that cause you to not like your work. I'm sure there's very specific things, but if it's generalized of, well, I just don't like going to work, narrow that down. Say, well, I don't like my job, or perhaps I need to make money, and find something that you love, or find something that you love to do, and then go ahead and go do that. Be impeccable at your office and stuff like that. And the 4 agreements, go look that up on Google. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Assume responsibility for everything you're doing, and then always do your best. If you just do those 4 things, you're probably going to get along a whole lot better off at work and at home. So I'm not going to regress into the previous videos with the 4 agreements, but just Google that and you'll find that to assist you a great deal if you practice those teachings. So a couple other things at work that probably drive you crazy. We talked about bosses, coworkers, getting ready for work the night before, the commute to work. Today is a huge topic, and I'm sure that you've heard this a million times, is limit your time on your computer goofing around, or on your phone, whether you're texting friends, and especially if you're on social media. Just try and eliminate that from your job. Accept what you're doing, focus on it, and just really get your job done, okay? That's, you can tap on that, I'm addicted to Facebook, but I love and accept myself completely. You can go ahead and do that. I know there's a solution here, and we're going to get through this. You can tap on all these different things, but, put that thing down, put your phone down, put your computer down, and focus on what you just need to do. And that leads into the second thing that you might have to do. When I was in the corporate world, I had to spend a lot of time in corporate meetings, okay? I had a corporate job where we worked 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and we would spend 2.5 days, not 2.5 hours, 2.5 days in meetings preparing to go out and do what we had to do. That's a long time. So this is a time to not be grouchy and say, oh, I hate these meetings. And if you do, I hate these meetings, they're a waste of time. That's the biggest thing that people say about meetings. Oh, these meetings are a waste of time, but I love and accept myself completely. These meetings are a waste of time. I love and accept myself completely. I don't know why I have to go to these meetings. They're such a waste of time. Such a waste of time. And then you can add the solution in there. I know there's a solution here. I know there's a solution here, and I will fix it. I will find better ways to spend my time. So tap through all those points. If you get stuck and you're not finding success with EFT tapping, please leave a comment on my YouTube video. You can contact me through YouTube, on my Facebook page, on my email, or just give me a call, and I can work through this with you. This is what I excel at, is listening to you and then digging into those little areas and finding out what the real issue is, okay? So we talked about, getting rid of social media. We talked about meetings. What else do I got on my list here? Oh, another big one, especially if you're a supervisor, or if you're not, this applies also, is to be less controlling, okay? Accept the boss the way he is, okay? Remember, we got our little story in our head, and we see things the way that we see them, and your boss or coworkers see life the way they see it, okay? So try and work with your coworkers. Try and work with your boss. Do the best you can, but don't try and, if you're the supervisor, don't try and control every little thing that your team is trying to accomplish. Let them work it out for themselves. And if you are just a team member, if you're a normal employee and you're not a supervisor, but you have to work with others, play nice. Okay, don't try and control other people and judge them and criticize them for the way they think things should be done. Now, obviously, if it's illegal or completely off base or something like that, gently try and bring them back onto target there. But, don't try and control people. Let them do their best, just like you're probably trying to do. Let them do their best and leave other people alone, okay? This is an internal process with you. Everything you do and all these solutions, that's why it's called EFT tapping solutions, all the solutions are within yourself, okay? Nobody else is going to fix things for you. Perhaps if you have a serious issue, you have to go to the personnel manager or the human resources manager or whoever's in charge of, these kind of issues. If it's something like sexual harassment or it's illegal or something like that. But a lot of these small issues, they don't want to deal with, and they're not going to deal with it because they might not know how, or it's just too insignificant. So it's all within you. So try and, understand that. Do some tapping on this. If you're, have a bad commute getting to work, if you have a horrible boss that's extremely demanding, if you have coworkers that touch you inappropriately, whatever this is, do the tapping on it. Tap through this. Just keep tapping. Okay, this process works, and if it doesn't work for you, give me a call. So let me check my notes again. Less controlling. We talked about eliminating social media, and at meetings, go through the meetings and understand that this is a time to be present. Okay, you're stuck in the meeting anyways. You can't get out of it. If you could, you probably would. But if you're stuck in the meeting, then use this time to be present and in the now. This is another topic that I'm sure you've heard of a million times, and it's crucial. It's crucial to not fret, try and multitask in your head because you're going to miss out what's going on in the meeting. So this is a perfect time if you're in a meeting to focus, pay attention, and be present. Be present in the moment, and I can almost guarantee you that if you really pay attention, you're going to learn something. And I understand that if you have meetings every day or perhaps every week, it gets a little monotonous and a little tiring, but you're there anyways and you have to pay attention. So pay attention. Don't daydream and stuff like that. So try and use the new phrase we got today, which is, I know there's a solution here and I know this issue will resolve itself. You can add that to your tapping, after you tap on the boss who's a jerk and stuff like that, say, I know there's a solution here and I know this issue will be resolved. I know there's an issue here, and I know this issue will be resolved. Or, I don't like my coworkers, or I don't like Mary, my coworker. She's really lazy, but I know there's a solution here, and I know this issue will be resolved. I know this issue will be resolved. I know this issue will be resolved. I know there's a solution here. Think of a solution, or just let the solution come to you. There's a solution. I know it will come to me. And then just tap through all the points on this, okay? So that's the big takeaway today is, meetings, try and be present on social media, try and eliminate that, and don't be controlling of others. And then use the phrase, I know there's a solution here, and I know this will be resolved. And I think that's super key because when you say, I know, that means you know. And then the words, there's going to be a solution, and it's going to be resolved. This is critical to EFT tapping, and that's why I pulled this in the middle of a paragraph out of a book that most people probably wouldn't really pay attention to. But when I work with other people, I'm always looking for great phrases to assist them with, and this is so powerful. I mean, I cannot state enough how powerful this phrase is. I know there is a solution, and I know this issue will be resolved. So taper that, say it however you want when you're doing your tapping. If you get stuck, call me and I will work you through this. So this meeting sounds like a meeting, right? This issue is getting, this video is getting a little long, so I can't get my mouse to work. So have a great day. I will talk to you again soon. I think we're going to move on to another topic after this. We might go back to some mirror work or perhaps some chronic pain or chronic fatigue syndrome or something like that, or ADHD, which was mentioned to me today. So have a great day. I will talk to you soon. Chris Kelly with EFT Tapping Solutions. Have fun.